shed light on the paths of those who are open to living a life of freedom, self-awareness, passion, and clarity about their purpose in life. Every week we have a discussion, and this week's discussion on the podcast is how can decluttering help you manifest your dream life? All right, so welcome everybody, our guest Melissa. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, Carmen.
So excited.
I know, right?
Girl, it is that time of year to spring clean. Declutter is the main focus for spring cleaning, as I'm sure you know, Melissa. And especially right now during this pre-shadow to the eclipse that starts April 30th, now is a great time to declutter. I say people, places, things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
let it all go.
Let it all go?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Melissa is the owner and creator of Hopeful Simplicity, where she helps people achieve a less stressed lifestyle by focusing 15 minutes a day on organizing. Who doesn't have 15 minutes, right? She works to shift the overwhelm of it's all on me toward a home team we. I love that. When it comes to home management, by tackling one small space at a time. When Melissa's not spreading hope, this mama of one spends time podcasting, reading, gaming, and making memories of adventures with closest to her. And I love your quote of, I don't believe organizing is a one-size-fits-all option, so I help people discover their organizing styles for success. Thank you so much for joining tonight.
I'm so excited. I could just pinch your face. I haven't seen you in entirely too long.
I know, it's been way too long. And by the way, first off, so many people will tell me, oh my gosh, Carmen, you're always so organized. How do you do it? And I laugh and say, I am so not organized. It's my Capricorn rising that makes me look organized. And Melissa knows this because she helped me like a year and a half ago get organized.
I think you are organized.
It works for Carmen.
Exactly. In your way, if it's working, then
that's all that matters. That's all that matters. All right. So talk to us today. All things decluttering, organizing. Wherever you want to start first.
Let's start with there's a difference in those two things alone. I have too many people be like, yeah, come over and get my house organized. And then they expect me to show up with like a broom and a mop bucket. And I'm like, no, I don't do cleaning. So decluttering is getting rid of anything that doesn't serve you where you currently are. Be it like, past relationships or, my fat clothes before I lost weight, whatever is not serving your current is what we're going to declutter. Okay. And then organizing is going to be creating homes that are manageable by everybody on the home team. So like here, there's normally 2 to 5 people 90% of the time. So in those common areas, the living room, the kitchen, I want everybody to go through there and be able to manage it and maintain it because we're women, we're working, we have no free time to follow you around and handle all that.
I love it.
Organizing is creating those maintainable homes by everybody that's going to use them.
Okay.
And then cleaning is just getting rid of the dirt and the dust and the ick, like kill the germs. So that's normally where we start of actually defining the differences. That way, I'm not going to try to organize before I declutter. And if I'm super chaotic and cluttery, I have to move stuff to clean, then you're counterproductive all in yourself.
So you would recommend cleaning first? What do you recommend first?
I declutter first and then I clean as I organize. So once you've got like a space decluttered, you've got like a lot of less stuff out of there. Go ahead. That's your moment to wipe down the shelves, clean off the cabinet doors, and then start creating your organizing zones as you go. And then from there, you're just maintaining it. So if you have a cleaning schedule or a routine that everybody, you do the dusting on Sundays, you clean the toilets on Saturdays, whatever that routine is, you can just move items if you need to dust around, but then they already have a home to go back to.
I love that.
Me too.
So share with everybody, why are you passionate about this? How did you get started?
Oh, I got started because I'm a mom. and I was in a blended relationship. So we had a couple kids together. There were, different people, different things. And I was asked, "What's for dinner?" And I can only be asked what's for dinner so many times before I literally don't care. I don't care. Y'all can starve. Stop asking me everything. And so it got to that point. I was like, I came home and I was resentful. I was heavy. I was angry. I was like, I'm going to get in here and these people are going to ask me what's for dinner and have I seen this and did I put that away and do you know where my this is? And then I'm going to have to do the dishes and the laundry and everything. And I'm like, I don't even care. But I was tired of being angry.
Yeah.
And I didn't want my son to think adulthood is anger. Like that's normal. Stress is normal. You're supposed to hate coming home.
Got it.
And so that's how it all started. And then it's just like I don't have time to dedicate 8 to 12 hours to organizing one space every single day. So we did it in that I'm of that age of, like there's a commercial break. So you're going to go to the bathroom, you're going to make a sandwich, you're going to be back. But now we have Netflix. So all of that's at the end.
Got it.
Those 15 minutes of commercials before you start, automatically play the next commercial is where we kind of came up with that. Okay, before I can watch the next episode, I'm going to take those 15 minutes and get something done.
Yep. So what's the biggest hurdle you're finding people have?
Change is hard.
Okay, just change.
Change is hard. It really depends on the generation. Like it's my job as the female in the house to have dinner ready, make sure homework's done, manage the kids, manage all the people, place, and things. That's my job. So inspiring people that, change is okay because we're raising humans that we want to be better humans than we are. And I don't want my son to think he needs to be in a certain relationship just because he can't wash the dishes or he needs to date somebody particular because he doesn't like cutting the grass. I want them to be a productive human and manage life because then they're going to be fuller. Mm-hmm. And convincing that change because we're so ingrained of what we are supposed to be and supposed to do and have that Pinterest perfect life. I mean, like, no, are you happy? If you're not happy, then let's work on that.
Got it. I love it. All right. And I mentioned it's springtime. Are you busier with Hopeful Simplicity in the spring than any other time of the year?
We have the waves. You'll find waves kind of like we get a little spring cleaning and like, I'm ready to get this crap out and open the windows and we're done. And then you're like summertime rush and then it's back to school and you need to organize a whole new system before the holidays come in. So you have that like decluttering into a reorganizing regroup.
Got it.
Ebb and flow.
Got it. And I mentioned the eclipse season is coming up. And it starts on this new moon, April 30th. And so we've had it'll be a full 2 weeks of the feeling of to get rid of whatever it is. Because what happens with eclipses is if we don't take care of it, people, places, things, situations, relationships, keep in mind the energy of this year is a relationship year, then the eclipse will take care of it for us. And let me tell you, I now have my office back. And I found so much stuff in my office I didn't even know that I had. And it went, I know, right? I'm like, where did this come from? Totally forgot that I had it. Threw it away. Now, I bless things before I either throw it away or give it away, right? Thank you so much for the time, lessons, whatever it is. I appreciate you. And you're out of here. Mm-hmm. You're done. Mm-hmm. And my home, I mean, I did it in a few different areas, and my home feels different afterwards. So can you talk about that as well?
Yeah. So when we live in a constant state of clutter, that outer visual weight is something you can feel. It's that outer chaos is just a reflection of your inner clutter. So like if you're not like clear on how you want a room to be or how you want your day to look or what you want to go from A to B to C, then you're kind of just, hit and miss. So if you have stuff everywhere, you can't see the clarity within the crazy. It's really hard to see that. So I always encourage people, like when you're decluttering and reorganizing a space or considering a change even to a routine, strive for 20%. If you strive for that 20% lightness, that empty space,
Okay.
you're going to have that much more mental and physical release from your body.
So in your experience, what happens then with this 20% open space?
You have less visual clutter. So you have, look at all that space you just found in your head. You don't have to worry about, like, do I have a wall behind all that stuff? Do I have a table under there? That's already, now you've got all this free space.
Do you find though, so in my experience, I've let go of the old to allow the new to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So are you seeing that also happen with some of your clients where they're refilling that space very quickly? They're leaving it open for a while. It's calling in new experiences.
It's depending on what they're getting rid of. Like if you're getting rid of groceries, you're always going to replenish your groceries.
Yes.
But if you're getting rid of your chaos and clutter and you feel lighter, you're more protective of that. Once you're like, oh, I like this feeling. It's like when you drop 40 pounds, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to eat a salad for the rest of my life. And like, nah, snacks. But like you're more protective of the calm.
I love that.
And then there's cake. But I mean,
I always love cake. All right. And that was tip number 1. Share tip number 2. I'm going to take myself off screen and show everybody some of the beautiful work that you do.
I gotta look at my notes. Okay, so tip number 1 was the strive for 20%. So tip number 2 is we encourage regular check-in with spaces. So here you've got it under the sink. So I'm under the sink normally once a day. So once throughout the year, I'm going to recheck in with a space. And you're just going to do that, be like, you know what, this works, but do I really need dishwasher pods when my dishwasher broke last year? So the tip would be checking in as many times a year as you're in a space a day. I'm in my closet morning and then evening. So twice a year, I'm going to go through my closet. It's normally spring and then fall, right? You got to get the summer clothes out and then the winter clothes out and swap them out. So that's a good time to just reevaluate a space. Just because something's working doesn't mean it can't be better. And if it's working better, it's going to be less stressful. Does that make more sense? Oh, I love office supplies so much. I love this because I actually did this. This is at a business setting here. And there was a team, I think it was 8 or 9 people. And they couldn't figure out, why do they have so many things here, 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 here? Well, you have one person that manages it. So it wasn't set up for the person that ordered and managed. It wasn't set up for their organizing style. And I know, Carmen, you and I have talked about how organizing is not a one size fits all. And that's actually going to drive us right into tip 3. We teach organizing is a different style. So you can see here, there's not really like lids on these containers. These are in drawers that are just kind of open, dump, and be done. That's because that person was actually a macro organizer. So they need a one-step system to put something away. I personally am in a micro organizer. So I would have a container with a lid and then a container inside there and then a container inside there because I would rather put it away properly for my mind and have a one-step pull-out system instead of put it away quicker and a one-step put-in system. I hope that makes sense. That made sense in my brain. But that was kind of tip 3, took us right into that. Oh, okay, so this actually came from a reevaluation. What you see here is the transformation of a closet space. And this was when my son decided that, I think it was 8 or 9, I think it was 8, he took over his laundry. So I've not done a boy's laundry since he was 8 and he's 13 now. Because all we had to do was take away the hangers. So switching to a no-fold system gave the 8-year-old a power to completely take over his laundry. And in the top right corner of those, there's the 8 white bins, is actually a built-in Goodwill box. So when you have kids or you have teams, you always want a system to naturally get rid of things. I don't want to go through my son's clothes with him twice a year because then you get sentimental. You're like, oh, you were so cute that one time we went on a trip. But if you have a system built in, it gives them an immediate home. And then all I have to do is transfer that to a bag, take it to the Goodwill or the donation center in your area. And it's less stressful, the whole process. But you also avoid clothes, you put it on, you pull it off. You're like, oh, why do I feel extra fat today? Or, oh, I outgrew that because I'm a child and I grow overnight like weeds. So having that built-in decluttering system, either in a kid's room or even in your room, really keeps your systems and your organizing styles maintained because you have an auto out. You remove the chair clothes or the putting things on and then hanging them back up and then putting them on and then hanging them up and hating what you have. But if you have that system to remove them, you're more inspired to maintain your space because you actually like it. And you're like, oh, this is the one step. I know how to get rid of that into the box. Mm-hmm.
As you said, once you find a system, you love that. And that leads into the title is manifesting your dream life, right? So truly living in a space that you love. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And it's energy. So I'm getting rid of the things that I don't love anymore that don't serve me because they're energy. They could be holding me back as well. And that's all going to impact everything. And that's what I really wanted people to understand and how simple it is. By the way, you are the second person that has talked about, what system did you call it with the clothes? No fold system?
No fold system. Yep.
You were only the second person that I've heard say that before.
And that was a hard thing for me because really your socks are supposed to match. I'm a very micro detailed person. My socks are like mated and folded into thirds and into their little cubbies, right? And they're color coded. But he's a boy, so right there, or even he's using some more free will. He's already on to the next 12 things. So letting go of that control that I had was the hardest thing when we switched his no fold system. Shirts get hung up, socks get mated. He's like, I don't care if my shirts are wrinkly. I have socks on. Can't that be good enough? And I'm like, yeah. You have to go to school like that. If it doesn't bother you, it won't bother me in a week. But I'm telling you, not having to touch dirty socks, I don't care they don't match, dude. Do you? Less stress. I'm a happier person. I don't care. I no longer care. But the shift of control, that was hard. That change, that was hard.
And you're living your dream life and he's living his.
Yeah.
All under the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want people to see.
And we're completely different. Like, he doesn't fold, he doesn't match. And I have everything is folded in its home and color organized. It's a rainbow, and then it's by sleeve size, and it's completely different. But I keep that kind of crazy in my space, and we compromise for our successes throughout the rest of the home.
I love that.
Me too.
I love it. Well, so for me, I would receive a lot of judgment from people who would come into my house for how I take care of my house. And my whole thing is it's neutral and it only matters to me because I live here. You don't.
Yeah.
So I get to take care of it how I see fit.
Mm-hmm.
So if because I like a lot of bright colors, clearly. And now my mantle, if you saw it, is all bright colors because I'm switching colors throughout my home and I'm doing little by little without repainting everything. Right? And so it's as it makes sense or as I find things decor that I like and getting it. And now my mantle's like all the colors.
But you love it.
I love it.
Makes you happy. It keeps you inspired. You keep moving forward.
I have little lights hanging up. I've got lights outside that I hung up on the porch. Like, I'm just like, you know what? If it makes me happy, I'm doing it.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. So a lot of people like, I'm a professional organizer. I got certified. I took classes. I love this stuff and I will help you, but I will encourage you to do what you like. Like I have over 200 Funko Pops and half of them are in this office.
Have
Now,
what?
Funko Pops,
What are those?
they're collectors, like collectibles, right? So I got a new one this weekend. Um,
Nice. I'm like, what are you
so
talking about? I love it.
And so to have a collection of over 200 somethings, it's kind of like mind blowing to people. But I'm like, but these are scattered. Like, that's my home decor. I don't have a
Yes,
bunch of tchotchkes. I don't have shelf thingies. I don't have weird signs. I have Funko Pops and Legos.
I love that. I used to have shoes. I mean, yes, the shoes that you wear, but they were called just the right shoes. And I kept, I think, 20 out of the, I don't know, I think I had close to like 80 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept 20 of them, my favorite 20.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it. And I will say, you helped me with business. And I'm looking at the board right now, and I actually transitioned the board to a visual planner.
Yes,
High five.
it's so funny. I thought of you because I just did a new board. And
Yay!
I was like, oh, I need to check it on Carmen and see how it works. And it's like color coordinated by AM, PM, right? And so it's just.
So, by the way, and you may already know this, colors, it's a subconscious, you're creating subconsciously with the colors. So, like a great example, a lot of people think that people will think that green is money, and it's actually purple or lavender is money.
Mm-hmm.
Green is heart chakra. So go by your chakras. So green is your heart, blue is your throat. Third eye, I think, is indigo, like a purple blue, and then your crown is purple, lavender. And when you look up purple, it is royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So as I've been writing down affirmations, my own journal, my daily journal, any journaling that I do, everything is done in a purple pen. And people will give me flack for it. And I'm like, I'm subconsciously creating though, even with the colors, even with your Post-it notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you tell a favorite color? Anyway, so yes, I am a color. I love to organize by color. And my planner is strictly for my to-do list. Business and personal. What is that, paper?
It's like construction paper.
I love it.
Color.
I love it. I would be doing the same thing. And my other appointments and classes and things of that nature are on my business calendar, my Gmail calendar, because that's tied into, so when clients want to work with me, it's tied into that.
Right. Then you keep that separate from your planner to-do list.
Mm-hmm. So my planner is the to-do list. It's visual. I'm still getting used to it and figuring it out and what works for me. That did take a couple months to transition into, and so far it's working. Because here's what happened is when I started to work at the co-working space a few months ago out at Nexus Impact Center, I couldn't take my big board with me.
Right.
Well, I could.
But you didn't.
So, like, for everybody who's like, what are you talking about? Let's just show them. So, like, this is my big board with my Post-it notes. And I love the Post-it note idea because then when I was done with it, I got to rip it off and throw it away. And that was like my favorite part. My favorite part. And then as I was thinking about things, I would write it down and I would carry Post-it notes with me wherever. Except I'm not going to take this big board with me. So I thought, okay, I got to figure out something else. And then this room is open for, I mean, I do have the product. I have the energy stones. I've got the oils. I have, the journals and things in here. A desk to actually sit at if I want to. And I needed a bigger physical space. So this is really for clients with classes when I do the classes, and to do any podcasts, the visuals. And now you pretty much just see most of my home when I'm on social media and the videos.
Yeah.
But I had to switch. I had to do something. So thank you for helping me make that switch. And it did. It took, I think, about maybe a month and a half, 2 months, just to do the switch with you the first time.
Yeah. But you had to, sometimes we have to sit with it to pinpoint why it's like, I know it's not working. I don't know why it's not working, but I know it's not working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. Any last words of wisdom before we share where they can find you?
So I always try to remind people that we are not messy and we're not lazy. We just haven't found our style for success yet.
I love that. Yes, so true. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'm going to share her link. There it goes.
There I go.
And what social medias are you on where everybody can find you?
All the things. So we are on Instagram, Facebook. I have a private Facebook group that we do most of the things. So definitely Instagram. And we even have some YouTube videos out. So you see more details of individual small spaces because that's our 15 minutes. We do one small space. So Instagram and YouTube and Facebook.
15 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So do not let Netflix autoplay the next episode. Be like, no, I'm in charge, Netflix. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Get you a snack and go back. No.
You see, I'm not a Netflix person. I mean, I have it, right? Mine is TikTok. That's my downfall.
Yes, it is.
And I probably made 10 other videos and posted and went and looked at everybody else's and joined lives. And so, yeah, that's.
So you should set your little like alarm on your phone. You're like, this is my 15 minutes. I'm not allowed to troll. And then go to work, young lady.
Or could I have it on in the background or listen to my YouTubes in the background
Absolutely.
There you go.
I listen to my audiobooks when I do it.
There
or
you
my
go.
musicals. Yep.
I love it. Totally do that. And how do people join your private Facebook group? Is that for private clients or is that for anybody to join?
Anybody can join. I wanted to give people a safe place to share their before and after pictures.
Got it.
So that's where we share a lot of our before and after journeys. And we do like an accountability on Sundays. We have a meal prep thing. And I share a lot of journeys from other hopefuls that are like, I don't want to put my name on it, but here's what happened in my kitchen. And I'm like, I'm going to share that. You know that, right? Okay. So I wanted to, because everybody's journey looks different.
Yeah.
So that's the Facebook group. You should be able to find it. I do have the business page, Hopeful Simplicity. You should be able to find the group if they're there, or you can just message me.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's discussion. For those of you who are listening and tuning into the podcast, be sure to go to YouTube and you can see the visuals that we shared throughout, and also share any questions you may have for Melissa in the comments as well. And be sure to like and subscribe to YouTube, and follow us on the podcast as well. All right. Until next time.